What's happening, my blog buddies? This is Blog Content, and today we have some very weird news that I never thought I would actually read, but hey, it's Blog Content, and we're bringing you guys the newest on Nintendo news, and right here we have from express.co.uk a very weird article that I think you guys would find very interesting. So, its title is actually Super Mario on Xbox One. Updated, Microsoft wants a partnership with Nintendo. So just reading these words, this is something that we never thought would actually happen and would actually be said by Xbox, right? Because the guys at Microsoft are so, competitive with everyone out there and, still Sony and stuff like that. So we never really thought that this would happen. But yeah, Nintendo is lending their IP, of course, to Apple with the new Super Mario Run game. So nothing seems out of the realm of possibilities right now. And this even talks a little bit more about something like maybe Smash Brothers. So I'm very excited about what that could potentially bring. So it says that Microsoft gave Nintendo Minecraft and hopes that the Switch maker will one day return the favor. So this is pretty funny to read actually, because of course Microsoft has acquired Minecraft and has since done a lot of cool stuff with that, including of course the story mode version. And actually Minecraft came out for the Wii U a while back, and it actually means that Microsoft has lent it to Nintendo for the time being, and we eventually even got a Super Mario skin pack for that game, which actually was really cool and looked really awesome. But it makes you think, right? Nintendo is working with Microsoft because Minecraft is so immensely popular, and actually the same user base kind of plays Mario games, right? It's the same age group, so it only kind of makes sense. And of course Microsoft and Xbox, they desperately need those games that appeal to a younger audience, because Microsoft is kind of known for those first-person shooters and, those real kind of immersive experiences, and Nintendo is particularly kind of focused on the younger audience and family gaming as a whole. So I think it's a smart move for Microsoft to say this and to also, of course, lend them Minecraft, because it has to be some sort of tactic, right? If we give them Minecraft this year, maybe next year, we can get a Mario game on the system. So that's not that far out of the realm of possibilities, because today they actually said something very close to that. Microsoft wants Super Mario on Xbox One. So Microsoft wants to partner with Nintendo in order to bring Super Mario to the Xbox One, and Microsoft Phil Spencer actually said that Nintendo had the strongest first-party games and that he would love to see them on Xbox. In an interview with OzGamers, Spencer actually said, Nintendo has the strongest first-party of anybody. So just thinking about this is amazing that he just said this, because first party is everything for a company, right? It's just your lifeblood. It's what you kind of tread on to get by. And I think Sony has done really well with their, unique IP over the years. They've done really well. And now we've actually seen that Crash Bandicoot is getting a resurgence. So all those classic icons are coming back. Even Mega Man was introduced in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and that is a gaming icon as well. So Xbox really doesn't have those kinds of characters. I think the most that we'll see from Xbox ever is someone like Master Chief from Halo, and that of course isn't really a family-friendly icon. So yeah, kind of thinking about their quote about Nintendo having the strongest first party of anybody, they are right. Nintendo not only has Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, but also things like Metroid, Kirby, and all other kind of stuff that makes you think, well, these guys are pretty strong. If they are going to use their IP in more different ways, in ways like movies, in ways like theme parks, then they could make a lot of dough on that. And it seems like Nintendo is doing that, and it seems like Microsoft kind of wants a piece of that pie. They actually quote Phil Spencer. He said, they're just fantastic, and the memories that they have instilled in so many of us who've played their games and had those delightful experiences, having those on Xbox would be great. So it's really nice that he's talking so politely and so nice about Nintendo as a whole, because as you know, when E3 time comes, it's all just competitive spirit everywhere, and everyone's kind of making shots at each other. Now it kind of makes you think, right, that this must be some sort of tactic to finally get those IP on their system and depower Nintendo a little bit and say, hey, we kind of sort of own you. That's sort of what happened, of course, with Rare, which was an exclusive Nintendo, a third party, and it ended up, getting to Microsoft. And now, not only do they own Banjo and Kazooie, but they kind of screwed it up as well. And that, to me, is a little bit of sad fact. So I'm still kind of weary about the fact that Microsoft really wants to bring Super Mario to the Xbox. I think they've kind of, made a statement with their games and saying kind of like, yeah, this is what we do, this is our audience. So bringing Super Mario over to that, of course, is going to make a lot of sales, and it's going to make a lot of families happy that bought an Xbox One for some reason. But I think that it might not be the strongest decision as a whole, because I think that the hardcore gamer would not really want something like that to happen. And I don't know if sales would be that much impacted, because Nintendo is, of course, on the Nintendo system. So to me, the casual, audience at like Christmas or something would still buy a Nintendo console for a Nintendo IP. Anyway, thinking about that they're, fantastic memories instilled in many of us, that he just talks about those delightful experiences, it's really weird to hear that, right? Because these are rival companies. These are supposed to be like opposite sides. So it's very nice, but it makes you think there has to be something more aside from this, right? Perhaps with Microsoft porting Minecraft over to Wii U, Nintendo will one day return the favor. So he quotes again, obviously, we have Minecraft on Nintendo, and when that opportunity came up to work with them on Minecraft, some people might look at it and say, why would you even do that? But with Nintendo, it's been a great partnership on Minecraft. So, yeah, he says exactly here what I feared. He says that many people are saying, why would you even do that? Why would you work with Nintendo? These are your rivals. These are the guys that own, the video game market and have the mascot of video gaming. Why would you work together with them? Why would you not, own Minecraft and have that be your own unique IP? But I think he's being really smart here and saying, well, it's Nintendo, right? It's these guys that we've looked up to, and those guys are the reason that Xbox exists, that we create games in the first place. They were the first, they're still, having the best IP, and working with them would be a great honor. So that feels really good. And then he says, in fact, they put Mario in Minecraft on Wii U, with, of course, the mashup skin pack. And continuing to work with them on that and building a struggle relationship, I mean, if that paid dividends down the road that leads to somewhere else, that would be fantastic. So he says exactly here what I kind of thought before, lending their characters, lending their IP of Minecraft to Nintendo and having that game on the Wii U, even with the Mario skin pack. It's a big deal, and they knew that. It was kind of sort of a tactic, because he's saying, if that kind of paid off down the road and it would lead to something else, meaning, returning the favor, putting like something like Mario or maybe a Legend of Zelda or a Metroid game on the Xbox, well, that would just be swell. And I think that if you think about something like Metroid, right? Metroid is a franchise that to me is not all that family friendly, could get a little bit dark, and I think is more, geared towards a teenage audience. I think it would be really cool to see a game like that, in full 4K graphics, maybe on the Scorpio that's upcoming. Just imagine sort of a Metroid Prime first-person shooter game with graphics that, rival that of the newest Halo, or even, Sony's Last of Us and stuff like that. That would just be amazing to see, and I think that, those guys could take the franchise to a whole different places with a whole different set of graphic capabilities and people working behind the scenes. I just don't know if it will be best for Super Mario. And now they actually even talk a little bit about our favorite franchise of everything in the world, Super Smash Bros. And it's possible that fans might even see Microsoft-owned characters like Banjo-Kazooie in games like Super Smash Bros. So Phil Spencer quotes, I know I get questions all the time on would I ever like to see Banjo in Super Smash Bros. And I'm like, yes, I would do that in a second. And certain people think I'm that as some sort of PR answer, and I'm like, why wouldn't you? Anyway, I'm a big Nintendo fan, and I think they've been incredibly important for the games industry. They do a great job with younger audiences, and if we ever had a chance to work with them in the future, I would absolutely do that. Okay, so this is kind of a little bit of Smash Brothers news that we didn't really think we would get today, and that's actually very exciting. He's talked about it in the past, that he would be very open to work with Nintendo, and now hearing that the main character that gets requested from Microsoft is actually Banjo-Kazooie, from, of course, a third party that they acquired along the way, is kind of weird, but Banjo-Kazooie is, of course, this family-friendly IP that I think would really mesh well with Smash Brothers. I think there have been a lot of fan mods, or at least a lot of fan moveset ideas for Banjo and Kazooie, and just seeing this bear with a backpack with a bird coming out of it, that's a unique character for Smash Brothers, and having, two characters fighting that are essentially the same character would fit really well. It's not like an Ice Climbers kind of character. It would be kind of a little bit more like Rosalina and Luma, but they are still attached together. So maybe some moves could be Kazooie, some moves could be Banjo. I think it's worth to kind of think about that fact. And just thinking about maybe a map of like the Nutty Acres level, right, of the new Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts and something like that. The music is always amazing, so maybe Grant Kirkhope will lend his awesome talents to a Smash Brothers level as well. Just thinking about that, that's amazing. So finally, the article states, perhaps we'll see a slew of Nintendo games on Microsoft's upcoming Xbox One Scorpio, which is described as the most powerful console ever made. Xbox One Scorpio price details have been revealed ahead of the 2017 release date. Microsoft has confirmed that the Xbox One Scorpio will definitely cost more than the Xbox One S, which is currently priced at about £250. Interestingly, on the subject of price, Microsoft recently said that the Scorpio was like a high-end PC worth of thousands of dollars. Without revealing full Xbox One Scorpio specs, Microsoft's Aaron Greenberg described it as the most powerful console you've ever seen. So, alright, this was it. That was the whole report, and I think it's just very weird that we ended up talking so much about Xbox and, you know, maybe the potential future Scorpio news right here on Block Content, right? We are so used to reporting on everything Switch and everything Nintendo that we kind of forget about the other guys sometimes. And we're definitely not just a Nintendo channel, but for sure, we're hyped about everything that's happening right there. And just thinking about that Super Mario will end up on the Xbox One is just so weird. I'm very curious what you guys, you know, right there think about what this could mean for Nintendo as a whole. Will they actually do this? Or do they have too much pride and actually will stick their IP to their own, you know, kind of consoles and handhelds? So I want to know from you guys. Put down in the comments right here. This is the question. Do you think that Mario would be at home at Microsoft consoles like Xbox One or the upcoming Scorpio? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You'll become part of our awesome Blocked family, and you know, every single day of your life you'll have new news on awesome media, Nintendo games, and even more. So thank you so much, like this video, and we'll see you guys around the corner where there's always more news on Nintendo games.